Hello, and welcome back to Nerd News. Today we have a new Pokemon trailer announced for tomorrow, and a leak just ahead of Mario movie showing Mario's face, supposedly. Let's get started. First up, we have the launch of Overwatch 2. I've never played Overwatch, but this was kind of like a frustratingly stupid thing that's been going around. Overwatch 2 launched today, and apparently you need a cell phone plan to play the game. But that's not all. It gets worse. If you have a prepaid cell phone plan, something like, I don't know, Cricket Wireless, for instance, or what I'm going to assume, since they're very similar services, Metro PCS, you just can't use those as your plan. You have to have a regular cell phone service, I guess. I don't really understand why. I didn't look for an explanation on Overwatch's part as to why this is, because there really just isn't a good explanation as to why you need a cell phone plan to play a game. It's stupid and ridiculous. This is why Overwatch is dumb. Don't play Overwatch. Activision Blizzard sucks ass anyway. Fuck them. Next up we have Mario. His face apparently has been revealed. Over on the Connor Eats Pants Discord, it appears a McDonald's employee has leaked the first photo of Mario in the Mario movie. Well, the first photo of him where you see his face. The image yesterday doesn't really count because doesn't really appear to be a photo for the movie. It's more like a promotional image. But this appears to be what Mario is going to look like in the movie. It's fine, I guess. I mean, there's nothing like horribly wrong. He looks a little terrifying around the eyes, but like, it's nothing horrible. I think it'll look better in motion. It just looks a little awkward here. I don't know, something about it's a little awkward. I think it's the triangled face that he has going on with the really big cheeks. Something about that just looks a little strange, but it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. It's fine. It's definitely something that will probably look better in motion, and we'll see it tomorrow, obviously. We don't even know if this is real, so I'm not super worried. It doesn't look horrible, but also it could be fake, so we'll see. I keep saying tomorrow, but by the time you're watching this, we will be seeing Mario in a few hours, so, you know, I have hopes that this is fine. This will be fine. The movie's gonna be fine. There's no reason to worry, right? The movie will be fine. Speaking of things we're going to see very soon, there's a new trailer for Pokemon coming out literally at the same time as this goes up. Son of a bitch. At the same time this goes up, a Pokemon trailer should be out. So by the time you're watching this, if you watch this, the new Pokemon trailer will have been out. Obviously I haven't seen it yet because this is being recorded the night before. Apparently there is a leak for this trailer though. It comes from a Pokemon Korean account. Apparently accidentally posted a leak of a new image of the games. My guess is this is what we're going to be seeing in the trailer that happened a few minutes ago. It appears to be like racing using the legendaries, Miraidon and Crydon. That's cool, I guess. I don't know. We've kind of already heard about this through other leaks, so we'll see what it looks like in the trailer. This is just, you know, a promotional image. The image looks good, but there's nothing like going on. There's nothing new in here. It's not like they leaked a new Pokemon or anything like that. It's just both characters riding on their respective bike, and that's probably what the trailer is going to be about. So, interesting, but by the time this video goes up, you'll have already seen the trailer. Let me know if that's actually what we got in the trailer. Continuing with the Pokemon news, this is less news and more just something really, really cool that happened that I kind of want to talk about and mention because they deserve a lot of credit for this. Lewtwo has posted a Google Drive link that has high quality images for pretty much everything Pokemon. And these are like game assets, so like 3D models are in there, item models are in there, the actual Pokemon are in there. I personally downloaded the Pokemon file that just has every form, shiny, mega, everything for every Pokemon. They're all PNGs, so they all have clear backgrounds. So you just get a ton of Pokemon art to use, and it's for creators and for pretty much anyone. It's completely free. They do have a Patreon. The Patreon will be linked in with their tweets down below because they deserve a lot of credit for this. This is tons and tons of work and effort being put into this as a free resource for everyone to just have access to, and that's really, really good. That's just good for the Pokemon community in general. This is free, high-quality assets so that you can use for anything you want, and that's really good. It's good to see. So thank you to Lewtwo for this, because this is really, really cool. And I will be using this a lot, because that's really cool. Also, I will be donating, because they deserve credit for this. And you should donate too, because, again, this is a lot of hard work going into this, and they deserve all the credit in the world. Next up, we have some Yu-Gi-Oh! News. For the NA Remote Duel Extravaganza, there will be chances to win this game mat, and it's adorable. It's all the rescue monsters, and it's so cute, and I want the mat so bad. I'm not going to get the mat, not going to win this mat, but I want the mat. I want the mat so bad. This is adorable. Anyway, enter NA Remote Duel Extravaganza for a chance to win this mat. It's really cool. In other news, we got fish support. I call it fish. I refuse to call it goatee. Goatee sounds stupid. What the fuck's a goatee? Anyway, fish. We got new fish support, and this is really cool. Most of it looks pretty good. Omen of the fish. This is Omen of the fish. I'm not pronouncing that first word. Level 4 fish, water, 1500 attack, 0 defense. If a fish monsters become banished except during a damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. During the standby phase of the next turn after this card was banished, you can target one of your fish traps that is banished or in your graveyard, set that target. You can only use each of the effects of this card's name once per turn. Okay, so that's kind of slow. The special summon's good, though. The effect that it actually has of returning a trap seems really slow, but it's not terrible. The special summon's probably useful. I haven't played the fish archetype yet, but a free special summon's never really a bad thing, so this seems fine, but I don't think it's that good. This one is Shadow of the Fish. This is a level 6 water fish, 2100 attack, 0 defense. During the main phase, quick effect, you can banish 2 fish monsters from your hand and or graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand. If this card is special summoned, you can target one face-up card on the field. Banish it when it leaves the field. If this card becomes banished, you can banish one fish monster from your graveyard. Add this card to your hand. You can only use each effect once per turn. Okay, so banish 2 is special summon it on a quick effect during the main phase. You can just during either player's turn. And if it's special summoned, you can target one face-up card on the field and banish it when it leaves the field. Okay, so you can target something, and if it leaves the field, it gets banished. Doesn't banish the card itself, but it targets it so that when it does leave the field, it does get banished. And if this card becomes banished, you can banish one fish monster from your graveyard to add it back to your hand. So it recycles itself. This is neat. It's just got a lot going on. Neat card, but a lot going on. Alright, next up we have Ruby of the Fish. This fish tuner, level 2. 1000 defense, no attack. You can banish this card from your hand, then target one fish monster in your graveyard, banish it. During your opponent's turn, while this card is banished, you can special summon it. If this card is special summoned, you can, except during the damage step, immediately after this effect resolves, special summon, synchro summon one fish synchro monster using this card you control. You can only use each effect once per turn. Okay, so you can banish this card from your hand, then banish a fish in your graveyard. Okay, that's pretty good. You do want to banish your fish because they get triggers off of it, so that's good. During your opponent's turn, while this card is banished, you can special summon it. So you can just, during your opponent's turn, you can special summon this whenever you want. And if it's special summoned, you can immediately synchro summon into a fish synchro monster. That's pretty good. This seems like a really strong card, honestly. There's no restriction to really any of it. No restriction to its summon, no restriction to when or why. You can just if this banished, you can just special summon to your field and summon a fish monster. That's really good. As long as the monster you're going into is a fish, that is really, really strong. That probably explains why it's an ultra rare. Next up we have the Serpent of the Fish. Level 6 water fish synchro effect monster, 2100 attack, 0 defense. Materials, 1 tuner, 1 non-tuner, so it's generic, that's good. If this card is synchro summoned, you can banish one level 6 or lower fish monster from your deck. If this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can target one fish monster in your graveyard, banish that target, then you can add one fish monster with equal or lower level from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect once per turn. Okay, so if it's summoned, you banish a fish from your deck. That's good. Level 6 or lower, but that'll trigger some of your effects. So on summon, it's going to trigger something right out of the deck. That's really strong, actually. Now that I think about it, that is really strong. If this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, so if you use this to synchro into something else, you can target one fish monster in your graveyard, banish it, which again is going to trigger effects, then add a fish monster with a equal or lower level from your deck to your hand. So as long as you banish a high level fish, you can pretty much search whatever you want. That's good. This is a good card too. The fish is really out here getting some solid support, honestly. Next up we have Spear of the Fish. Level 8 water fish synchro effect monster. 2700 attack. Materials are 1 fish tuner and 1 non-tuner. So again, this is completely generic. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster, you can banish that opponent's monster. Okay, that's good. During your opponent's standby phase, you can banish this card. Then, if all the monsters used as material for this card's synchro summon are in your graveyard, you can special summon all of them, but banish them when they leave the field. I don't know how I feel about that, because they have to be in the graveyard. If it was in the graveyard or banished, or if it just said banished, I think this would be better. But having them exactly in the graveyard is kind of contradictory to the deck. It still seems like a good card, but not quite as good as It's a little odd. It's a little odd. Still really good, but not exactly what I thought it was going to be. Next we have a trap card, Fish Cosmos. Normal trap, apply the effects in sequence based on the number of banished fish. If you have 1, your fish monsters cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. So battle destruction is basically always there. 4 or more, the activation and effects of fish monster effects activated on your field cannot be negated this turn. Just prevent your fishes from getting negated. And then 8 or more, which is kind of unrealistic, but maybe not super unrealistic. Special summon 1 fish synchro monster from your extra deck, and it's just treated as a synchro summon. That's just a free synchro summon. Alright, so if you have 8 or more banished, you just get a free synchro. That's not bad. 8 or more is probably like a more mid-game thing, or like a turn 3 thing at least. Definitely not going to be a solid turn 1 option, obviously. Obviously the trap card has to be activated turn 2, but you know what I mean. Yeah, that's still strong. I do really like the second effect. If you have 4 or more, it just stops your effects from being negated. That's really good, but being on a trap is a little rough. And next we have Fish Fury. Continuous trap card. You can target 1 fish monster you control and 1 monster your opponent controls. Banish both monsters until your next standby phase. So your opponents just lose their monster for the turn, and you get to trigger your fish effect. That's good. If a fish monsters is special summoned to your field while any card is banished, you can banish this card from your graveyard or face-up spell trap zone. All fish monsters you currently control gain 100 attack for each card currently banished until the end of this turn. You can only use each effect once per turn. That second effect is not very good. I'm going to be honest. If a fish is special summoned, you can banish this to gain 100 attack for each banished card. That's not a great effect. The first effect is neat, though. I do like that first effect. That's a solid interruption, especially if this is searchable, like really searchable. That'll be a solid interruption. But I'm not so sure about that banishing this card from the graveyard or spell trap zone. So all your fish just gain some attack, especially 100 for each banished card. You're going to need like 10 or more banished cards that to really start to add up unless you have a lot of monsters. Doesn't seem that good. The second effect doesn't seem that good, but the first effect's nice. And lastly, we have some insect support. This one is Beetle Amalgamaton Zexstagger. This looks really cool. Like, just the artwork looks really cool. It's from a V-Jump, so who knows when we'll get this. But that artwork is, like, incredible. That is some sick artwork. I like the little cell-shaped insect on his chest. That's really cool. It's a level 8 wind insect effect monster, 1500 attack, 2600 defense. You can only use the first and third effect of this card's name once per turn. First effect, if an insect monsters is special summoned, you can special summon this card from your hand. Gains 300 attack for every other insect monster on the field. During each end phase, each player can special summon 1 insect monster from their hand or graveyard, but its effects are negated. that's really cool, because one of the Battle Wasp cards is like a good end board piece. I forget which one it is. It's one of the main deck monsters. I think it's Sting. It's like a good end board piece. And this just like puts it on your board during your end phase. And it negates its effects, but there might be something you can do with that. There might be something you can do with that. But also, it's just a free extender in and of itself. Like, if you summon an insect, if you special summon an insect, it summons itself. That's really cool. And it's level 8, so, you know, maybe you can open up some rank 8 plays. But, I don't know, it seems like a good card. I like this. I would play it just because I like the artwork, but it seems good. And next up, we have a level 3 Wind Insect Tuner monster, Hexring Summoner Fairy. I guess. 800 attack, 1500 defense. You can only special summon with the first effect of this card's name once per turn. If there's an insect and or plant monster in the graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card you control is used as synchro material for an insect or plant monster, you can treat it as a non-tuner. This seems fine. Like, if there's an insect or plant in your graveyard, you can just summon it from the hand. I don't see anything wrong with that. That seems like a good effect. You know, it's not a good combo starter. It's a decent extender. It requires some setup, but it's not like the worst thing. But the fact that it's a level 3 tuner, but if you're making an insect or plant monster, you can also treat it as a non-tuner. Flexibility is always good in a card, so a free special summon of a tuner that can also be a non-tuner is pretty good. So this doesn't seem bad, really. This seems like a decent card at the very least. The next one is Circle of Fairy. Whatever, it's the same name but with an E at the end this time. Level 7 Wind Plant Synchro Effect Monster. 2200 attack, 2500 defense. It's just a tuner and non-tuner. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. During the main phase, you can normal summon one insect or plant monster in addition to your normal summon set. You can only gain this effect once per turn. When a monster is destroyed by battle involving your insect or plant monster and sent to the graveyard, you can target one of them and inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the attack it had on the field. Then you gain life points equal to the damage inflicted. Again, this seems pretty good. Just as a generic synchro. I mean, it's a level 7 plant. I mean, it's wind, but cool. Like, this seems good. This seems fine. It gives you an extra normal summon. It doesn't really fit in the insect deck, kind of like the first one does. However, this seems like a pretty decent card for Rose Dragons. I'm not 100% sure, but they play a lot of plants, and this offers a free normal summon of another plant, and it's a level 7, something the deck's already really good at making. It's Black Rose, so, you know, that's a level 7 itself, so this is just an alternative to making a Black Rose. This just seems like a really good alternative and an extender for that deck. Not sure how good that'll actually be in practice, because I haven't played it. I would like to play it, though. But yeah, this seems like a decent card. Again, just another an extender for plants and insects. And the second effect is a battle effect, but it doesn't seem like anything terrible. It's a decent effect. You can burn your opponent and then gain some life points. It could be good in like time or something like that. If you're a little behind, but you manage to get to the battle phase, this will burn them and then you gain life points, so this can put you ahead. That's not really a great strategy for winning, but it's already useful as an extender, so that's pretty good, honestly. I like this. Both these cards are pretty good. The other insect Megazord is pretty cool. A good couple cards out of Photon Hypernova. This is looking pretty good. Alright, and thank you all for watching today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe down below. Let me know what you thought of the Pokemon Direct and the Mario movie trailer. By the time you watch this video, those will probably have been out already, so let me know what you think. See you tomorrow.